What's that you say? You don't have a KitchenAid mixer? Actually, I don't have one for my apartment either. There's no way it would fit, even if I stored it in the living room when not in use. And it weighs a ton, it's a hernia waiting to happen. So when I'm at my apartment, I make smaller pizzas in my older 12-inch or 30-centimeter pans. This is actually my true original recipe, to go with my oldest cast iron skillets. Something about them actually makes even better pizza than my bigger pans, but I'm finding that I need to make more and more pizza lately, hence I use the big pans more often. All right, so I promised to show how to do the dough without a mixer, without the KitchenAid mixer. These are for smaller pizzas, so I've got a little bit over 1 cup of warm water here. See in there? All right, so for this, I do 1 teaspoon of salt, 2 teaspoons of sugar, 1, 2, that. I like to do this if I'm going to do it by hand, in a big bowl. Otherwise, it feels like the flour just goes everywhere. Drives me nuts. Okay. 1 tablespoon of good quality olive oil. There we go. All right. Push that around a little bit. And here we have, this case, for smaller pizzas, 500 grams of good quality bread flour and 1 packet of regular dry yeast. So I pour everything in at the same time. That. And then I've got a spatula, a fairly stiff spatula like this. And the motion, you point it down in there, the motion is like to get under and scoop the liquid on top of the flour. And I just sort of turn it, do this. And eventually what I'll do, get to the point where I can't really mix this anymore, and then I'll finish it off by hand. Like before, I usually try to have this come out too dry. You can put the extra drops in there if you want. Go ahead, pour the extra drops in there, that's fine. Okay, so at some point, most of the flour has been incorporated, but it definitely doesn't look like finalized pizza dough, right? I know I just need to add a little bit. So here what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna make a little depression in the middle there. I'm gonna add in just a tiny bit of water, not even a tablespoon's worth. And keep mixing that around. Make sure I get all the flour. Okay, now at this point, I'm gonna finish this off by hand. Right, so I finish this off. What I'm doing is sort of squeezing it, trying to get all the flour off the bottom. All right. And now I use the same motion I do when I am making a nice smooth ball. Right? So try to keep it over top of the bowl here so little bits of dry dough don't go everywhere. I use the same motion. Kind of work it around, spread it, work it around, spread it like this. So that's probably just about ready. Here's a pizza I made with mild goat cheese in my small pan. I once made the mistake of trying to grate that cheese, and I made a horrible mess. That's something I'll talk about on one of several episodes later on dedicated to cheese. So now you have no excuse but to come back and see me for part 3, proofing the dough. And until then, pizza!